Hello everybody and welcome back to the podcast channel. Y'all, over here on this channel we do our quick updates, that type stuff, and today is going to be a very quick update. Now be sure to check the links down in the description. Number one, a link to my other channel if you like my deeper dives on stuff, and number two, links to the actual articles that I am talking about. So what we do over here is I will put up a couple of screenshots of some key points from articles that I want to discuss. And today, y'all, this case, it can't stop, right? So a lot of you have been dropping comments in my last Daybell video that I did about this update and like, what do you think and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's Sunday, I'm recording this, so I wanted to come up with a quick update and read through it. So what we'll do is I'll put the screenshots up and then we'll talk about it. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. So this is again by Nate Eaton. I implore you to follow him on any social media you can if you're following this case. It is through eastidahonews.com. This is posted on September 30th, 2022 at 9:45 a.m. The title is Chad Daybell Wants Cameras in Courtroom for His Trial. Okay, so St. Anthony. Chad Daybell wants cameras in the courtroom during his trial, and he wants the proceedings live streamed for the public. John Pryor, Daybell's attorney, filed a motion. We will look at that too, but it's basically the same thing here. He filed this Thursday asking District Judge Stephen Boyce to consider the request. Defense has concerns that the lack of public access to the trial would cause financial hardship to members of the families, limit the parties' family access, and limit the public from adequate access to what is a trial of great interest to the public, Pryor wrote. The defense seeks an opportunity to assert additional reasons for opening the proceedings to public access. Pryor filed motions Tuesday asking for Boyce to separate Chad and Lori's cases and delay his client's trial until late 2023. Pryor is asking Boyce to hold a hearing in Fremont County on October 13th to discuss the camera motion along with a motion to continue and sever the cases. Now I'm just going to put up the actual motion here, but it's literally what we just read over, but you can see it here. Comes now the above named defendant Chad Guy Daybell by and through his attorney of record John Pryor and moves this court for an order to allow the live streaming of the trial of Chad Guy Daybell. Defense has concerns that the lack of public access to the trial would cause financial hardship to members of the family, limit the parties' family access, limit the public from adequate access to what is a trial of great interest to the public. The defense seeks an opportunity to assert additional reasons for opening the proceedings to public access. Okay, so that's all that's there, right? So let's talk about this. First of all, I'm over here like, are we agreeing with John Pryor? My goodness gracious, you know, which I mean, hey, it is what it is. Now, if you've watched my other update when they did the whole thing of banning the cameras and whatnot, then you'll know how I feel, but we'll go over it again real quickly. So I do believe that whatever needs to take place to have justice comes to the forefront, absolutely. But I also side with what Larry and Kay Woodcock were saying, which is like, look, let's meet in the middle. This is overreacting. Maybe we could do something like where we do the trial, but we don't, have cameras in for these preliminary hearings and whatnot and things of that nature. You know, and at the end of the day, I put most of my weight with, obviously, their feelings on this. You know, they feel very strongly about wanting the world to be able to see this. Now, John Pryor does bring up a good point here in regards to limiting access to family members and things of that nature who might not be able to get there, that type thing. So I'd be curious if the judge will meet in the middle for that dynamic. Now, a couple of things here. So the next question is, what is the motivation? Now, obviously, we know here by now that John Pryor is like, hey, look, we want to, sever the cases. We also want to push the trial off more. And he's talking about Lori's previous, bad behavior or whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But essentially, it looks like some maybe finger pointing is going to take place to Lori and Alex. So here's one thing I was thinking about. So imagine this. Like, John Pryor's not dumb, right? I mean, he's like literally worked this room up one side and down the other every inch of the way. Conniving, yes. Dumb, not so much, right? Some of the things he's filed are dumb, but regardless. Anyways, he knows what he's doing in this courtroom. He's stalling, he's doing this, he's throwing everything he can at the wall, yada, yada. Imagine for him if he's going to be trying to say, look, this is Lori, this is Alex, that is separate from Chad, all that. Well, of course he's going to want a camera in there. Look at the show that Lori puts on for them. Case damn closed, guilty, okay? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm just like, okay, I think there's other motivations going on here besides what he's just listing. Now, obviously, he's not going to sit here and say, I want her to look as crazy as possible to help my client's case, right? And again, if you follow me, I ain't no lawyer, I ain't no doctor, lawyer stuff. But this is just my opinion, right? I think that there is a whole bunch of stuff going on here, and it would be very curious. Now, obviously, do I want this thing to be televised? Absolutely, of course. Do I have a reason for it to be other than my own general interest? No, I'm not related to anybody here, you know what I'm saying? So of course it's just me being nosy, let's be honest, right? I just want to see what happens. But again, justice comes first. So I do agree with Larry and Kay, where I feel like if they met in the middle and they just didn't do the preliminary hearings and have video and pictures and stuff and maybe just do the audio, because remember the judge is saying that they haven't excluded like doing a live audio feed of the proceedings, right? So maybe this will force the judge to think twice, maybe meet in the middle. We shall see. So yeah, that's it for this little update. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Obviously, this is just going and going and going because January's right around the corner, y'all. So Pryor is clearly just drumming up a whole bunch of stuff that he can and coming at every different angle like he always has. Anyways, that's it for the update today. Let me know what you think, and until we meet around the sofa and the old computer, I'll talk to y'all soon.